Good morning everybody, and this is your S&P 500 day trade setup for today. So Friday, last two 8-hour bars on Friday, tail to the downside, tail to the upside, big confusion, big up, big down, big confusion. Look at my oscillators, they have crossed over, indicating that we have a potential top here, and we need to be wary. You can see how long it extended here before we actually got the sell-off. So I'm reluctant to be long at these levels right now. The next thing to point out is, we've been talking about this range for some time now, and I think there are many ways to draw it. There are many highs and lows that you can take. Some people have it drawn from like there and then drawing it down like that, and that's kind of the view that I've got as well. So we've had one break, we've had two breaks of this range to the upside. These range breaks are very low probability of them breaking and continuing to the upside, so you need to be very wary of that right now. So for me, I'm very wary of being long. I'd rather be long off the bottom of the range or structure much lower down. So that's kind of the moral of the story right now. The 3-hour, you can see big move down, does look like a bit of a wedge it formed, this massive move up, wedge, and then up. My concern is there are so many gaps to the downside, and those gaps are on every single time frame. So the lower time frame, the 5 minutes, pretty much in some areas every 5-minute bar was gapping up. So those gaps are going to act as magnets. We've got some big gaps to the downside. You can see there's a big one already, and a lot more further down. So for me, I'm looking at this, and let's just get to the hour. I'm looking at this and being very, very careful. The trend is up. Look at my oscillator though. The oscillator is grouping to the upside. Look what's transpiring here. Okay, same pattern that's on the Dow right now. That is not looking pretty. Not looking pretty at all. So for me, there's a couple of things. The probability of us breaking higher is very low. The probability of us continuing in this channel is fairly high. So we continue in the channel, no problem. But breaking higher above the channel and sort of destroying the channel, that's a very low probability. So in other words, breaking, getting new highs at the moment above 38.70 area is a very low probability of that. So you may just like 1 or 2 pips above it, but you're not going to get a massive move to the upside. So for me, I want to be buying lower down, and I'm actually very tempted for short scalping in this zone where we are at the moment, because what we have here is a 160 point stop loss potential. But look at these gaps. Look at all these gaps to the downside. If I come to the 15-minute, you'll see even more gaps. So it's one area there, but look here. This was Thursday, wasn't it? Yeah, no, Wednesday. So look at this. Look at all these gaps. And that is always a signal. There's another one down there. There's some big ones very far down. There's a little one there. There's a big one there. So I can keep going back for quite some time, and you'll see all the gaps. I think you can have a look at that yourself. So for me, right now, looking at the 15 minutes, that's the structure that's formed. Wait for European Open, get a break below this level here, and any sort of retest, stop above there short for gap close, for today's gap close. That's the first thing, and then to see if we get anything more than that. I suspect we're going to stay on this range, not so much the small one, but definitely this big one. I suspect we're going to stay in this until a sort of Wednesday time frame. I don't think we're going to break below. If we do break below this, this is a double top, and basically then we have a massive move to the downside, which is going to come and close that gap there, as you can see. Okay, so anyway, for me, I'm pretty cautious. Don't want to be chasing longs up there. I want to be buying off the bottom. I'm not so sure I want to buy off here at 38.22. I'd much rather buy lower down at 37.77. That would put me kind of low down in the channel. My stop is going to be on this area for another move to the top of the channel. So I think this channel is going to continue, but I think we are top of channel right now, so I want to see a deeper pullback to the bottom of the channel, or at least to the 50% of the channel, and then look for opportunity to buy back into it. Okay, so that's me for today. Very wary, not looking to longs up here, and actually considering a short scalp, which is against my grain right now when the trend is up like this. But the fact that we're top of channel like this, and the chances of us breaking, we've had 2 attempts at it and failed, so I'm kind of leaning more towards the line that we're pulling back into the channel. And if we do break the channel to the downside, that's going to give us a little bit of a big move down to 3,500, and then I suspect we should start gather our thoughts and then start looking for the 4,000. I'm still looking for 4,000 this year, but I don't think it's going to come from where we are now. I think first pullback and then a bigger opportunity to the upside. Anyway, that's it for me today. Hope it helps, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will catch up with you bright and breezy tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.